What has happened to American journalism? Let's scroll back. It's 1976 and the US media have never been more popular. Celebrated by Hollywood over Watergate, the story of two Washington Post reporters taking down a president over abuse of power. Americans actually liked their media back then. These days, not so much. What has changed? You could say it's a tale of two presidents, Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton. Ever heard of the Fairness Doctrine? It was a regulation that forced American broadcasters to give both sides of the news story. In 1987, under Reagan, the Fairness Doctrine was thrown out. That paved the way for Fox News on the right, MSNBC on the left, and acted as a kind of steroid boost for right-wing talk radio. In short, less talking, more shouting, and a lot of ranting.
Stop. Hey, can you turn her microphone off, please?
She hates you. She doesn't like you. She has contempt for you. She thinks you're stupid. That's why she's trying to replace you.
Hillary Clinton needs to win this election because this is sick.
Now, she'll be President Obama on steroids. Are you ready for that? Have the last 8 years been good for you?
He basically is like a walking case of political Tourette syndrome.
Now, fast forward 10 years to 1996. Deregulation was all the rage, and not just in the US. The passage of the Telecommunications Act under President Clinton meant that for the first time, media companies could own a newspaper and a television channel in the same city. A little more than 30 years ago, in 1983, 50 companies controlled 90% of US media. By 2010, a half dozen companies, the so-called Big Six, had control of 96% of what Americans watch and read. That's corporate concentration, brought to you by Bill Clinton and the Telecommunications Act. Now, I can just hear you thinking, praise be to the internet. It's there to set us free from these corporate voices. But it's not that cut and dried. The same corporations that own radio, television, and newspapers now own large swaths of the internet, including some of the broadband providers and mobile networks that some of you Americans are watching this on right now. And trendy news sites like BuzzFeed, Vice, and Vox, all aimed at millennials, they're not immune from the influence of the Big Six either. News Corp, Disney, and Comcast, through NBC Universal, have invested hundreds of millions of dollars into them. They'll expect something in return for that investment. It's no wonder that pollsters now say that just 1 in 3 Americans trust their news media to be fair. Both the Trump and Clinton campaigns have complained about the role the news media have played in this election. Although for Hillary Clinton, it's all a bit close to home, because with a little help from Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton turned the American media into what they are today. Wouldn't be the first time a woman had to clean up the mess her husband left behind.